Hi there, I'm Christina, the founder of Lifestyle Paragon, and in this video, this mini course, I will teach you how to land a 100% remote six-figure job without having to give up your high-earning career, drain your life savings, or putting your traveling dreams on hold. This is a three-part targeted job search strategy that I've used on myself, my course students, and also my private clients. So with all that ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to make myself small and put myself in the corner. I'm Christina. I am a digital nomad. I've been a digital nomad for over 3 years while making six figures at my remote jobs. Yes, I've changed jobs during this journey. I've invested over $200,000 in my retirement funds, and I've built up my emergency fund to over $30,000 while still traveling the world. I coach professionals currently earning over $90,000 USD on how to land these 100% remote jobs and get those offers that will ensure the stability of regular income without having to, of course, give up your high earning career. No eat, pray, love over here. You have to drain your life savings, or you don't have to sit at home and watch as everyone else goes and lives the life that you actually want to live. So you are now allowed to live and work where you want. Well, you're allowing yourself to live and work where you want. So today, I'm going to show you how to land a 100% remote six-figure job and why it has nothing to do with luck. Especially, in this economy, people are saying it's taking them so much longer than normal to find a job, much less a remote job, much less a six-figure job, and they think it's just luck of the draw. It's not about luck. Within this mini course, you'll learn how to position yourself as a top candidate, attract interviews, and secure a remote career that allows you to travel the world on your terms. So, this is definitely for you if you want to build a thriving, location independent career that allows you to work and live where you want. If you start to feel like landing a remote job is just luck, but you're ready to approach it differently, this is for you. This is also for you if you're not currently scraping by financially. If you're in a position in life where you want to maintain your current high standard of living, but just upgrade in terms of location freedom, this will be for you. And lastly, if you're ready to stop competing like everyone else and start positioning yourself like a top candidate, this mini course is for you. So let's rewind a little bit into me in 2022. I was living in DC, well, technically Alexandria, Virginia. I know people get into that. I was in the DMV area, okay? And I was paying around $2,000 for a one bed, one bath apartment. It was a good apartment, I guess, but it wasn't the fanciest, but it was in a roach-free, rat-free, gunshot-free apartment. And that's kind of the going rate for apartments in that time. I was working a job. Yes, it was remote, but it just wasn't the city that I wanted to live in. I didn't want to use my PTO to go on vacation because I was paying so much rent. I didn't want to waste my rent by going to be somewhere else. Like I was happy this is at like a national park, not a national park, like a national something in DC, but I wasn't really happy. And then I decided to not renew my lease. I decided to sell most of my stuff. And then I had the same job. I was like, what if I just took my laptop with me? Let's just see what would happen. And then this is what happened in 2023. That's when I started my digital nomad journey. Soon after I started, my friends, I'm a samba dancer also, by the way. My samba friends were like, hey, I started in Colombia. I'm like, you're really close. Just come to Brazil for Carnival and parade. I was like, oh, okay. So that's the first one. I went to Cappadocia, Turkey. That was always a lifelong dream of mine. And the last picture here is me in Iguazu Falls. This is the Argentinian side, but it borders both Argentina and Brazil. So here's me, and all this time I'm out traveling, fulfilling bucket list items, and I'm still making money. I'm still able to financially survive and thrive, honestly. And that is exemplified by these screenshots here. On the left is my savings account. So as you can see, I'm now recording this in 2026. It's at $30,000. And so this is not my retirement. This is just my emergency fund. If I lose my job, if anything happens, there's an emergency, I have this much money to play with. And then on the right, this is the amount, the sum of all the investments that I have. So that line at $80,000, that is when I started using this tool to track my net worth and my finances. So that was like goes from zero to like that big jump to 80. But since then, again, I recorded and took the screenshot in 2026. Now my investments have grown to 285,000 and I just turned 31. So this is what happens when you use my methods. You don't have to basically throw away your entire career. You don't have to throw away and drain your life savings so you're starting out from zero. You get to have both. So again, rewinding back to my journey, how it started at first, I was living in the DMV, paying like $2,000 a month. It was a good apartment. It was fine, but it wasn't like the dream. And I was still 40 minutes from the city center. I didn't want to go on vacation because I didn't want to waste my rent. My job's horrible PTO policy made it impossible for me to truly relax on vacation and be present when I did decide to go on vacation. This is me in Cartagena, Colombia, my first time abroad. And overall, I just agonize over the concept of giving up my six-figure career that I worked so hard for, that I went to grad school for, just so I can gallivant across the world while draining my savings account and having nothing to my name. I knew that something had to change. I knew there had to be a way where I can have my cake and eat it too. Now I've been able to max out my 401k and Roth IRA accounts, and I've invested over $100,000 during my time abroad. It grew to over, as you saw in the screenshot before, it grew to over 285,000, but I've invested over 100,000, all while being in all these different places. This is me in Antigua, Guatemala. My retirement fund grew to over 280,000 by my early 30s, and I've stacked my emergency fund to over $30,000. I was able to fulfill and still am fulfilling bucket list activities like parading a Rio Carnival, all without using my PTO. And most importantly, I finally figured out how to live a life that I don't need a vacation from because I'm able to leverage my six-figure career instead of running from it. So here's what we're going to cover today: how to pivot into a 100% remote job without starting over, without taking a pay cut, don't worry. The exact steps I use with my core students and my private clients to land these $100,000 100% remote roles, how to avoid scam jobs and find reliable sources or job boards, how to get recruiters chasing you, even if you've been ghosted before. The last job that I had, I didn't even apply. They reached out to me on LinkedIn, and within a month and a half, I was starting my first day. We're also going to be covering what it really takes to build a career that funds your dream lifestyle and not just your bills. So you're not just living to work and working to live. And then getting access to the hidden job market. No matter how bad the economy is, someone is still hiring. They're still hiring for desirable roles that are remote, that still pay a dignified wage, dignified salary. So it's there. You're just not seeing it. And I'll teach you how to see it and how to become a part of that. So again, I'm going to move myself to the top corner here. This is what it's like to chase the dream and actually live the dream. Last summer in 2025, I had a wonderful time. I was in Lausanne, Switzerland. Here I am hiking this actually during harvest season. I'm hiking it's not a winery, it's a vineyard, hiking the vineyards in the French part of Switzerland. The most beautiful views I've ever seen in my life. I was telling my friends and family, I was like, this is like the water bottles. Like, it's like the water bottle with the label, and the label is like a beautiful, crisp lake. And it was so beautiful, so fresh. I'm like, wow, God's green earth. I got to experience that. And that was a regular Saturday activity. I didn't have to go on a plane and go all the way across the world. I just turned off my computer on Friday after work, went to bed, woke up. I want to go on a lovely once in a lifetime hike. And I did this. The middle is me in Gdansk, Poland. I had a lovely time over there, and especially being from Michigan, there's a big Polish population, so I got to eat punchkis, the stuffed donuts that I remember eating on Fat Tuesday at school. I got to have like actual kielbasa, so that was wonderful. And the last picture is me in Guadalajara, Mexico. I really enjoyed the city. So this is all me having fun during my free time. I'm working from anywhere in the world and I'm not sacrificing my pay. We work too hard in our careers. You're getting the degrees, the certifications. You're trying your best, like working your butt off, and you don't get to enjoy it. So here's how I was able to do both, and I'm going to teach it to you starting now. But I want to give you a little bit of a warning about this is what happens, the harsh reality if nothing changes. If you watch this video and click away, if you don't do anything to change how you're currently looking for remote six-figure jobs, you'll get burnt out from the constant rejections from jobs that would change your life and give you the freedom that you crave. You'll be stuck in an in-office job that you hate in a city that doesn't bring you joy or fulfillment. I know the DMV is great. It wasn't for me. I didn't want to be there. If nothing changes, you'll be destroying the financial stability and lucrative career that took you years to build. I know a lot of people feel very overwhelmed about the prospect of trying to find a remote six-figure job. And they're like, you know what? It's easier literally for me to just let me just sell everything and live off my savings, and then God will find a way. You know how many people don't get found a way? So instead of taking the time and the effort to work on yourself and invest in yourself and your skill set, a lot of people will just throw caution to the wind and then have to be the ones that post GoFundMe's in order to get home. So you don't want, that's a harsh reality. You don't want to live that reality. And the last harsh reality that I'm going to list here is dreading your life every day that you commute to work. What does that take you? 2 or 3 hours every day when it comes to getting ready, driving, parking, all that stuff? You don't get that time back. Like at the end of your life, this is just a waste. This is time that you could be working out. You could be meal prepping for yourself. You could be doing chores at home. You could be spending time with yourself. You could be spending time with your friends, spending time with your family on this limited time on earth that we have. So that is one of the biggest downsides of not changing anything, because you can't get time back. And my methods teach you how to get your own time back. And how to do this, how to avoid all these harsh realities, is that you need to stop being a job seeker, become a premium candidate, because the best roles, and the best roles are, say it with me now, remote and 100 six-figure jobs. They don't go to like the fastest applicants. They go to the most irresistible ones. And let me show you why. Introducing my Wonderwall Working online course. This is a step-by-step system with 3 support tiers available for driven professionals like yourself who are ready to land 100% remote six-figure jobs that allow you to travel the world freely without sacrificing pay, structure, or success. The time is now to actually implement this. Inside this course, I'll show you exactly how to position yourself, attract interviews, and land your 100% remote role without relying on luck. So you'll get instant access. If you click the link, it'll be in the description box. And when you enroll, you'll be able to learn how to live your dream life abroad without giving up your high-paying career, your current high-paying career. So let's get into the details. So within my Wonderwall Working online course, it comes from my Wonderwall Working signature framework. And that comes with 3 main steps. So the roadmap to the six-figure 100% remote career and financial prosperity while traveling starts with step 1, which is the research and preparation phase. How it works is you assess your current working situation and triage. What jobs are you being approached with? Is it none? Is it a bunch of scam jobs? What's going on? And so my course will teach you how to work through that. You'll be able to leverage verified sources to find remote jobs instead of being bombarded with scams, people just trying to mine your data. You will learn how to get a niche skill set in a remote-friendly job family or industry. You will create a remote job-worthy resume, LinkedIn profile, etc., to passively receive interview invitations. And here's what happens if you don't do step 1. With a lot of career coaches that you may be looking at, a lot of resume writers that you may be looking at, they first start on, here's the resume. Here you go. I use a thesaurus to add some fancy words. Now you're all set. But that's not how things work. Without doing this research and preparation, you'll always be running around in circles without niching down, and you won't be able to stand out from the remote job competition. It takes more than a couple fancy words in a resume to make you a supreme remote six-figure job candidate. So this is what you'll stand to gain from the first phase. And step 2 is the apply and networking step. So how this works is you'll learn how to navigate through quality versus quantity when it comes to the job market, when it comes to interviews, when it comes to your job applications. If you've ever heard or even thought to yourself, gosh, I've applied to over 100 jobs this week, 500 jobs in the last couple months, 1,000 jobs over the past year, and I haven't heard anything, that means something isn't working and it's time to change it. So while a lot of people might suggest throw spaghetti at the wall, hope something sticks approach, mine is a quality over quantity approach. I don't encourage my students or my private clients to apply to every single job under the sun. They actually say no to a lot of jobs. They actually skip over a lot of job applications because it just won't suit their needs. Instead, they use that same amount of energy and put it towards, or even probably most likely less energy, and they put that towards a select few applications. And then that's when they start to see more interview requests coming in. You'll be able to master your elevator pitch and reach out to your new set of professional peers and mentors. So that's definitely what the networking part comes in with this phase. You will rebrand your professional persona to establish brand authority in your niche industry. You will learn how to become the Olivia Pope of your industry. Like, we have a problem, we need someone to solve it. Who do we call? You. Who do we reach out for a job interview? You. Who do we have a job made up on the spot and she doesn't even have to apply? You. You will also learn discernment so that way you never get played by remote job scams again. This is such a big issue in the travel digital nomad community. People always ask me in those Facebook groups, is anyone hiring for a remote job? And it's like, if I were a scammer, it would be like taking candy from a baby. So you will learn that. And again, what happens if you don't do step two? That is an integral part of my signature Wonderwall working framework. Without learning how to apply to jobs correctly, without learning how to network, your application getting noticed is one thing, but without this, you won't have interviews. Your applications will go into the abyss. So you will be able to free yourself from your frustrating job search. The most frustrating part about trying to find a job is not hearing anything. All this hard work that you do with tailoring your resume to every single job, your cover letter to every single job will be in vain. But with my strategies, it won't. And step three is interview and negotiate. So we learned how to make your professional persona. We learned how to apply that. We learned how to network. Now you're going to get a personalized interview practice for each stage. Within my course, there are different modules with lessons, and we talk about every single stage of the candidacy journey, because how you interview with the HR recruiter within the screening versus the hiring manager versus the cross-functional teams versus like the final round with director or senior level or C-suite or above, those are completely different. They have different motivations. And so I teach you what those motivations are and how to ace every single interview round. So that way you don't just get the first interview and then get ghosted afterwards. You make it until the end to secure those wonderful, sweet, delicious remote six-figure job offers. You will learn how to advocate for your salary, total compensation, your benefits during the job negotiation process. Because, yes, even in this market, no matter how bad the market is, you still need to know how to advocate for yourself. And then you'll learn how to manage your newfound influx of income to create true lifelong financial freedom. Because what's the point of having a good paying job that's remote when, there's layoffs all the time? You can lose your job like that. So you want to know how to get another job, how to have savings so that way you are less desperate during your next job search, and how to create not just location freedom with being able to travel, but actual financial freedom. Without step three of my system, you'll never land your six-figure 100% remote career. Like, you may be getting first round interviews, but they won't turn into following interviews. They won't turn into job offers. The paychecks that you will receive won't turn to actual savings and investments, and you won't be able to retire any earlier. So if you're not able to communicate your professional value, which my program will teach you, you'll never land your six-figure 100% remote career. It's the cherry on top that you still need to have. So, tangibly, what is inside the Wander While Working online course? Like I said before, it's a step-by-step system. As of now, there are 6 modules, over 22 videos, and counting, that will help you reposition yourself as a top candidate so you stop getting ignored and start getting interview calendar invites. What's inside of this course are proven strategies to passively attract interview opportunities instead of endlessly applying to jobs. So yes, you can still apply to a job that looks nice, but wouldn't it be nice to go into your LinkedIn inbox and be filled with, we want to talk to you, we want to talk to you, this job, remote in all caps, pays this much in all caps, if numbers could be all caps. And you're like, I didn't even have to do anything. You see these jobs being posted, but you get to skip the line. Like the bouncer at the club, and everyone else is standing outside in the winter without a coat, and you just get to walk on by. That's what it'll be like for you. That's what I teach you inside of my course. You will learn clear guidance and have clear guidance on how to navigate each stage of the interview process with confidence. And I'll also give you tangible tools and scripts so that way you can advocate for your salary, benefits, and other long-term financial growth once you start collecting multiple job offers. So why does this program work? It works because it's not a mad dash to the magical remote job board. Again, a lot of the advice that you hear is you need to be the first person to apply. If you apply to a job after 2 hours, there's already 100 applications. You're not going to get it to it. That's not the way my Wonder While Working program online course works. It's not, it's a strategy on how to excel no matter the outside circumstances. So it doesn't matter if you're at the club and you're like, oh, I got here first in line. Like, well, there's a list. And if you're not on the list, then it doesn't matter if you got there first, you're not getting in. Versus you will be the person that's on the list and you get to skip ahead of everybody else. So how you get to be on that list is that you have a skill set that's very niche, that's very unique, that is hard to replicate, hard to find. So they're willing to pay a premium for it. And they're willing to give you perks that other people don't have, those perks being 100% remote, especially in this return to office environment. My strategies also work because let's not beat around the bush. Remote hiring is getting more and more competitive by the day. So you can't skate by with the bare minimum effort that used to work before. And I get it. I went through that transition as well. I got my first remote job in 2020, because of the world events. And I got my second one in 2022. Yeah, 2022, kind of on the start of the decline of the great resignation. And ever since that, it's become more difficult. If I still use the same strategies now in 2026 that I used in 2021 and 2022, and I was also making a career pivot, I would be where you probably are right now, wondering why things aren't working, wondering why you're not getting callbacks when they used to come so easy to you. So you have to be better than the competition. You have to do more. So that leads into the third point of why my program works. Your competition is not developing this unique skill set. And what this unique skill set is getting a career coach like myself, getting into a program that teaches you not just the skills to do the job that you have, no matter if you're a software engineer, if you're a product manager, if you're a marketer, if you're anything like that, investment banker, that's a tangible skill set that shows that you're able to do a job function. What I teach you is how to communicate your value to people that want to hire you. And that's a skill set that they don't teach, that the degrees and the certifications don't teach you about. So your competition is just relying on their past works, thinking that that's it, that that's enough to entice people to want to interview them and also want to hire them. But that's not good enough anymore. So you will become better than your competition because you will develop this unique skill set. So I know I've been talking for a little bit. I want to get into some tangible results. So one of my past private clients, her name is Catherine. Before she was stuck in the mid five figures salary wise, and she was struggling to find the right remote job, she before everything changed with the economy, jobs used to just fall in her lap, and she noticed that her luck ran out. The same things weren't working, and she was feeling really burnt out, frustrated, and overlooked. But after working with me, she's now surfing in Puerto Rico, and she's earning more than she did chained to a desk chair. She got 6 interview requests in the first 2 months that we worked together just by optimizing her LinkedIn. And now she's sought after for premium jobs, not just ones that she's overqualified for. So if you're worried about remote job scams and you're worried about your LinkedIn inbox looking like Scam Central, this is how you avoid that. You work with me. So here are her results. Danny is another client of mine. So before she was torn between finding a new job, hint, she actually found a new one. There's a wonderful update, or get a promotion at her current job. And she couldn't get both. Her boss wasn't budging with her current job, her former current job, and she wasn't getting any hits with trying to find a new one. She felt discouraged to pivot to the next level of her career ladder while in a bad economy. If you ever heard of what's the new phenomenon now? Job hugging, where you just cling tightly to any job that you have because you're so afraid of being let go. That's actually, that's not the best way to play things out, because you can be laid off at any point. So you might as well stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And she was also stuck in the below 6-figure salary threshold. But after working with me, she received 3 passive interview requests within 2 weeks of us revamping her LinkedIn profile. She received over 10 interviews in like the first 6 weeks. I wrote this when it was more current, with each of those roles paying over 100K a year. And now her LinkedIn inbox is filled with interview requests and invitations to prestigious industry-specific conferences. And so what that means is that puts her in rooms to network that most people won't be in. If you go to a job where you're trying to network, it's probably not going to work out for you because everyone is there to try to find a job. When you go to these prestigious conferences, these are people that are in a position to hire. So she got invitations to that. Um, One of my dearest clients, Afrika, I would love for you all after this, once you enroll, or when you, if you want to go to her testimonial, I'll have that linked in the description box below. But before, she was trapped by her current job that kind of bait and switched the employees into return to office. And she realized, I can't leave because I don't have options to leave. I have to take what I'm given. She was unsure of what job titles or industries or just like things around that she should pursue that would be remote friendly, because she's been at that same job for a bit of time. And her LinkedIn inbox was really dry when we first started, when it wasn't bombarded with spam. And the testimonial it's like a 20-minute video. You can watch a bit of it if you want. But the main thing that I want to highlight from her testimony is it was like a night and day, like flip of a light switch type of difference in the jobs that she got access to once we started working together. As you can see, for private clients like her, we work through Slack. So that's where that screenshot is from. And she says it herself, it's such a positive step in the right direction in such a short amount of time once her LinkedIn profile got updated. So, if you're thinking it's just luck, I just have bad luck with finding a job, there's nothing I can do, there is something that you can do. You can join my Wonderful Working online course. I'll also have this link. This is my own testimonial. Like, coaches do play. So I had to change up my strategies to find a remote six-figure job when the economy changed and I lost my job. I had to find a new one and didn't want to stop my digital nomadism. So I made my own testimonial on how I went from unemployed to getting myself a six-figure, 100% remote job. So you can feel free to watch that as well. So we talked about all these wonderful testimonials, like the dream. What happens? Here's like my horror story as a digital nomad who also makes a very good income. My horror story is for myself and also for you, that you keep applying and hoping that something just shakes out magically, while others are taking a cooking class set in a castle in the Italian countryside all before their 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time work call starts. Like, that would be a horror story. Like, I'm here sipping wine with someone named Fabio, and you don't get to do that. A horror story is that you keep on missing out on real opportunities for opportunities that would change your life, because the remote jobs that you drool over are paying you dust. So this is for people who are like, I'll work in a call center. That's remote. That's good enough. When you work too hard in your career to take such a step backwards, you get to have both. You get to make improvements in your career while still being remote. And a horror story is that your dream life keeps getting postponed. You're at home scrolling on Instagram, watching everyone else get to live the life that you actually worked hard for, but they just get. You watch the travel influencers, like, they get paid to travel. That's the only way you get to travel these days, and I don't want to do that. But then they're out having fun, and here I am dealing with fluorescent lighting. It's not fair. That's the real horror story. So I say all that to say, don't let this horror story be your actual life. Don't be the person that says, let me think about it. And when I say let me think about it, let me think about joining this course. I don't know. Let me see if something shakes out. It's not going to turn out how you want. From my experience, I talk to many people in my community through my Instagram, and it's the same story every time. Most people think that they're just one interview away from freedom, but they're actually not. The hiring process is longer, riskier, more competitive than ever. These companies don't know how to act right because they have the option to treat people badly because people keep coming back for more. So that you have to be better, you have to be smarter, you have to be more cunning. So instead of being the person that says, let me think about it, which is basically, let me procrastinate on this and continue living this reality that doesn't suit me, winners in life, they decide quickly and act with confidence. So don't be that person that think about it, just do it. And with that, you don't need more time. You just need the right strategy, which you will learn inside my Wonder While Working online course. So we'll get into the tangible details about how to enroll. I know I teased it a little bit earlier, but when you enroll, you click on this link to get instant access. It is instant. You click the link, you enroll, you get access to the platform where the course is hosted on, and you can get started today. You can watch this video at noon, and at 12:30, you can go ahead and start learning what you need to know to change your entire career and your entire life and start living your life abroad like you want. So here's what you'll tangibly get for each of the support tiers of my Wander While Working online course. Like I said before, there are 3 support tiers available. Starting with self study, this is something if you want the full system, but you want to implement it at your own pace, you're more independent. You don't want all the fluff, you just want to get started. What you get is the full One World Working online course curriculum. You get 12 months of access. You get my signature 3-step roadmap. You get the resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn templates. And then you get more tangible, downloadable job search tools like scripts and outreach templates, things like that. The next step up is guided growth. And this is if you thrive with structure, accountability, and occasional real time support. So you get everything in self study, but you also get 2 exclusives. One is my monthly live group Q&A coaching call. So you get 2 calls of that. And then you get the 2 months, 8 weeks of private group Slack access for Q&As and wins. And you just find a community of other wanderers. Get it, Wander While Working? That's our community of other wanderers. So that's a step up at Guided Growth. For Fast Track, this is if you want hands-on coaching, faster results, and tailored support at every step. You get everything from before, but also 3 exclusives, which are a one-to-one resume and LinkedIn audit, which is asynchronous. You get a mock interview and salary negotiation calls. You get an actual call with me. And you also get a personalized job search plan, asynchronous. This is very helpful if you're trying to make a pivot. This would be a great support tier for that. So that's what you get with each of these tiers. When you enroll, you can pick one. And of course, along the way, there'll be ad hoc options for you to get more support. But you start out with one of these options: self-study, guided growth, or fast track. And what's the investment? I'm highlighting guided growth because this is the one that I honestly recommend for people starting out. You get that structure of the course, you get the accountability and a bit of real-time support, and you also a community of your peers, and that is at $14.97 USD. Self-study is at $9.97, and fast track is at $2,497. A bargain for what you're actually getting, which is a strategy to bring you closer tangibly to the life that you actually want to live. Instead of hoping and dreaming and putting things on your Pinterest board, for the job that you'll get, a 6-figure job, this will pay itself off well within your first paycheck. So you might be thinking within yourself, like, Christina, do you have any payment plan options? And the answer is yes. We now offer at Lifestyle Paragon third-party funding. There are extended payment plan options like buy now, pay later, Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, like those type of things. And I've checked it myself. You can get payments as low as $92 per month. So at the checkout page, explore those third-party options to see if you qualify, and then that will be available to you as well. And you still get the same perks as paid in full. So no worries about that. Something that I want to highlight here is that you deserve to prioritize yourself. You put everything before yourself: your job, your family, the kids, your friends, like your everything, the dog that keeps on trying to like chew up all your office heels. So you deserve to prioritize yourself. I know people talk about self-care as, I'm going to go for a spa day. I'm going to get my nails done. The true self-care is living a life that you don't need a vacation from. The true self-care is not dreading Sunday nights. So you get that by using my course to teach you the strategies to get the job that pays you enough to where that you feel respected and gives you that location freedom so you don't feel trapped. So again, you can click on this link here and then get instant access to the Wander While Working online course at the support tier that you choose. So imagine this. You get to wake up on a Friday morning and decide on a whim to check a bucket list destination off of your list. You don't have to scramble and beg basically for PTO. You don't have to stress over expensive flights or last minute hotel prices. You can just book the trip, grab your laptop and go because you're already there. Like when I was living in Lausanne, I needed to go, I had a week break, or I was changing places I was living. I was like, let me go to Lyon, France, food capital of France. It's not Paris, by the way. And I did. And I ate at wonderful bouchons in Lyon, France on a whim. Crazy. Also imagine for yourself living in a new country for a few months just because you feel like it, without having to worry about money, job security, or career progression. That is what what you're imagining could be your new reality. So let's get into some FAQs because I know you have some. So let's get into it. Christina, what job boards are best for finding high paying remote jobs? And my answer to that is it's not about where you apply, it's not about the specific job board, it's about who you are when you apply. Do you put your best foot forward? Are you the best candidate? Because, like I said towards the beginning of the presentation, the best roles don't go to the fastest applicant. If you're the first person to present trash, they're gonna be, okay, thanks. And that's what's going to happen to your application. The best roles don't go to the fastest applicant, they go to the strongest applicant. And my program teaches you how to become the strongest applicant or candidate. So that's the difference there. But I also give you some advice on the better job boards to spend your time on as well. But what my coaching teaches you, which you just experienced actually, is it's not about, it's so baseline to just think about this is a magical job board, it's going to fix everything. That's very baseline thinking. Higher level thinking is what can I do to be the best candidate so that way it doesn't matter where I apply, I'm still going to be first in line. Christina, are there even really $100,000 remote jobs out there? Yes, these jobs exist. I work one myself, but they're highly coveted, they're competitive, and they require more than just a resume refresh. You're not just asking for any job, you're literally asking for one of the most desirable kinds of jobs on earth. The USD is a very strong currency. I think there are a few countries that are stronger, maybe Swiss franc, the currency they use in Singapore. So to make $100,000, which is a lot for people in the US, but to take that money and be able to live where basically every other country has a weaker currency, so your dollar goes stronger. That's a life hack right there. So you're asking for a lot, and a remote job, especially in this environment where corporations and employers are really like they're trying to seize back control. It's just becoming more and more competitive. So yes, these jobs really exist, but they're rare. But I teach you how to become so competitive that that is in that is still within your reach. The next question is I keep running into scammy or low paying remote jobs. And what I have to say about that is if you're relying on random job boards or social media links, like within those Facebook digital nomad groups, or vague quick wins, like, oh my God, this job just reached out to me via text message and said they're going to pay me $400 a day to do this. You're a target. This is like taking candy from a baby. Scams thrive in places where people are impatient, uninformed, or unwilling to invest in real strategy. If that's you, just don't be those things and scams won't come after you because they know people that work on themselves are not going to fall for this. It's when you're desperate, when you don't have an emergency fund, when you're just desperate for any type of job and you're willing to overlook glaring red flags. So this is how you avoid running into scammy jobs. The people who are my private clients, people who are my online course students, they're beyond this. They don't fall for these scams, and honestly, scams avoid them. Christina, this is a big question. Christina, can you guarantee that I'll get a remote job? And the short answer is no. And honestly, anyone who says they can is lying because I don't control hiring decisions. If if an employer posts a job and they already know they're going to put their nephew in the spot, but they just have to interview at least three other people to avoid a lawsuit, you don't know that. I don't know that. It's beyond our control. But what I do show you is exactly how to position yourself as a top candidate so that way you stop relying on luck and instead you're using a system that you can use for the rest of your career. So how this works out, I know it may seem like that's not the same. Like I want to guarantee there are no guarantees. But what you can't guarantee the behaviors of others, but you can guarantee your behavior. So instead of you being like, this is the one job that I was hoping for, I have like one interview, I'm going to put all my eggs in this basket. I teach you how to be a candidate where you have multiple job offers at the same time and you have to juggle between those. I teach you how to be a person where if you're laid off on Monday, you have an interview on Friday. So this is what you get when you invest in yourself and you become a person that doesn't need like luck because like a guarantee is luck. You become a person that makes their own luck. Another question, Christina, what industries are best for remote work? I can go on and on about this, but honestly, it's better to talk about the industries that are the worst. Free tip, avoid the defense, oil and gas, government, or academia, those types of jobs in those industries because they often limit travel flexibility. But there are many industries that are remote viable and globally flexible. So don't worry about that. This is a fun question. Christina, do I have to tell my boss that I'm working abroad? I won't say anything if you don't. Here are three real world options, to be frank. One is you can work for a work from anywhere company. They often pay less because why would they pay someone to do the same task in USD when they can pay someone from a country with a much weaker currency? It's work from anywhere, but you're competing with people who even like euros. A 30,000 euro salary in Europe is a good salary, but in the US, that's poverty level. The second option is to work for a US 100% remote job where you work abroad, but just under the table. Like get a VPN, don't tell your boss, hope you don't get found out. It's risky, but people do it. The third option is a contract based role where you have like, y'all aren't paying my health insurance. Like I don't have to be in a location. It does come with a little bit less stability, especially back in the day. But honestly, in this environment where layoffs are happening every single week, what job is stable? And there are many contract-based roles that you still get health insurance. You just get the insurance and the benefits from the contracting firm, not the company that you're doing work for. So let's wrap it up a little bit about this. You have two options right now in your hands right now. You can keep applying and hoping that something works out, or you can use my system and get real results faster. And hence, only one of these options gets you on a one-way flight abroad. So go ahead and enroll now. Like I said before, I would recommend starting with Guided Growth. It's the most popular enrollment option for my Wonder World Working online course. With this, again, you get 12 months of access to the full Wonder World Working course platform, plus 2 months of group coaching support within the group coaching calls and the online written community, where you can actually implement the strategies and start getting tangible results. So click the link below to enroll now. And here's me in Valencia, Spain, on why I want to help you. I grew up dreaming of traveling the world. I watched Anthony Bourdain with my dad on the Travel Channel, but my family could not afford travel. Plane tickets for 5 people, that was just not in the cards. So when I had finally built a stable, successful career for myself, I thought I made it. I was in DC, I was a small girl, big city. But I quickly realized that a few vacations a year, if that, was not enough to satiate me. I didn't want to live for PTO. I hated getting the post vacation depression blues afterwards. I wanted to see the world without throwing away the career that I worked so hard to build. And like many of us high earning achievers, I was stuck with the golden handcuffs. I had a great job, I made good money, but I wasn't truly free. And that's when I realized that I don't have to quit my career. I just have to leverage it. And I want to help you leverage it too. So if you're wondering to yourself, Christina, like, what's all this about? Like, I already have a job interview lined up. I just clicked on this link to watch this mini course because I'm curious. I can't afford this right now. We'll get into these questions as well. And while we're going through these questions, if I answer one for you, you can go ahead and literally click that enrollment link in the description box that instant and get instant access to the course. So, oh, this one's a fun one. Christina, I already have an interview lined up, so I think I'm good. Congratulations, you sweet summer child. I hate to burst your bubble like this, but remember, one job interview does not a job offer make. Just because you have one job interview, which is if you have something lined up, it's probably the HR screening. A lot of people, even though might not seem like it for you, a lot of people go through HR screenings, and that's when they do their first round of cuts. So interview processes can go multiple rounds. And then if it doesn't pan out, then you're back at square zero. I've talked to so many people within my Instagram DMs who reach out to me. They're like, oh, never mind. I got a job interview lined up. And then I reach out to them 2 months later, like, oh, I didn't get the job. And I have nothing else lined up because that was luck. If you have just one interview lined up, that's just luck. It's not strategy. It's not something that you can repeat. My students don't rely on a single source of hope. So if you already have an interview and you think that you're good, you can stay delusional and not in the good way, or you can do something to put yourself in a position to where you have multiple interviews. You're not hoping on just one interview, one job offer. You get to have options. The other Q&A like type of like frequently asked question that I get is, I can't afford this right now. And I'm going to be 100% real with you. If this is a true matter of affordability, like you can't pay for your rent, you can't pay, you're at a food bank, you can't pay for food, you need to reconsider your goals to live and work abroad. This lifestyle can be risky. I was in Guadalajara during when the Mexican military killed the head cartel boss El Mencho, and I was like, oh my God, if I needed to pay a price gouge flight home, I could have done that. But some people don't. Some people, if you are in any kind of travel Facebook group, there are so many people that post their GoFundMe's like, I broke my leg and I can't afford to go home. You should be able to afford a plane ticket, one-way plane ticket home at 10 times its cost, or else it's just too dangerous to travel to be trapped somewhere and not be financially able to leave. So you have to reconsider your goals to live and work abroad. This is like eating dessert before your broccoli. So, for your own protection and safety, if you can't afford this course and the highest price option is under $2,500, you can't afford to live and work abroad. I would recommend that you get your regular job, save up a little bit more, get a job that you can achieve, and work your butt off at that to change your position to where this will not put you in the poorhouse. On a similar note, Christina, I'm already paying for something else right now. And for something else, this is like, I'm already like, I don't want to pay for this. Like I could, I just don't want to. And like, be honest with me, be honest with yourself. Like I'm going to a friend's wedding. I'm already on vacation. I'm getting married. I want to get a new purse. I'm joining this fancy gym membership. Life is all about what you prioritize. And my course is meant for people that want to turn everyone else's pipe dream to be able to live and work abroad and make USD and do what you want with your location and time into their actual lived reality. When you saw me in those pictures before, like chasing the dream, like me hiking in Switzerland, me being in Poland, I didn't take a picture, I didn't show a picture of this, but I did like the tour of the Baltics. So I was in Estonia playing on a medieval type of swing that they used to play on during Midsummer, not like the movie. Um, no one else gets to, like, I live a very charmed life, to be quite honest. I get to live that, not have it be like a one day situation. I live it. And so my course is meant for people that want to live this experience and do the hard work to work towards that, not just dream about it. So my course is meant for people who prioritize an investment like this over a kitchen remodel, over a temporary vacation, like your one-time vacation, then you come back after a week and now you're depressed again and the cycle continues, or a new purse or a new gaming system. So if you can pay for this but just don't want to, be honest with yourself. That's perfectly fine. My course is here for when you do want to shift your priorities. So, about this, the more you hesitate, the longer you'll continue to commute to work every day and deal with the fluorescent lighting and deal with your coworkers being in the bathroom at the same time as you, listening to things that you wish that you can unhear in the bathroom. So, if you actually want to live your dream life abroad, my course, I know it's about finances, it's about career, and who cares? I just want to live out my Instagram for you page dreams. The career and the boring stuff is how you get there. So again, click this link, get instant access to the Wonderwall Working online course, and get access to my step-by-step framework to land your 100% remote six-figure job and live and work anywhere in the world that you want. Here are a few more questions, then I'll promise we'll wrap up. So, Christina, this costs more than the $249 course that I bought from someone else. And what I have to say about that is the goal that you're hoping to achieve, winning one of the most desirable types of jobs on earth, making USD, making six figures in USD, and being 100% remote, that goal that you're hoping to achieve won't be won with a race to the bottom. If you're trying to find the cheapest, dirtiest, quickest thing, it's just not going to work. Because this is your career that you're talking about. It needs to be comprehensive, which my course is. My course is comprehensive. It teaches you how to build a persona. So if you start at just the resume, you're already messed up, because if you're a business analyst getting a resume refresh and you're trying to be a product manager, you're skipping a lot of steps. And the person that's going to experience the negative downsides of that is you. So my course is comprehensive. It covers the entirety of the multi-stage processes of the six-figure 100% remote job search. So this is why my course costs more than $249. This is why the resume revamp um, packages that you bought before haven't worked, because they were just one-sided. You need the full package. That's what my course offers. At a good deal, I may add. Christina, can't I just do this by myself? And my answer to that is, of course you can. You can do anything you want. But why take the stairs when the escalator exists? From talking to people in my community through Instagram and YouTube comments and everything like that, email, there I've noticed a theme of a gigantic sense of shame for people who are even seeking out career help or have had career help. They think that they're cheating. They like there's no shame in getting a leg up on the competition. Getting a job, no matter any kind of job in this economy, with people being laid off for 6 months, 12 months, like 6 months, 12 months, that's a year, 18 months. People are saying, I've been laid off in 2024. I haven't found a job since. That's a long time. So in this dog eat dog environment, you want to come out to be the winner. And so there's no shame in getting a leg up on the competition. And it also think to yourself about the opportunity cost of continuing to do this by yourself, like you probably have been doing, and you know that nothing's really working out because you're watching this video right now. Like the typical remote job search timeline takes more than a traditional in-office job search timeline, but it can take over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And that's over a year and a half of time wasted when you could have been working abroad. You could have been abroad by now, learning different languages, trying different foods, exploring more of the world. But you're at home literally enacting the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing but expecting different results. Once you get over your ego, which, like, egos are fine, but at least have an ego that serves you. Once you get over the ego of asking for help from someone that can do a job better, I can't do my own hair. So I'm not gonna. I'm going to suffer. No, wait. I can do my own hair. I can't cornrow by myself. Instead of me leaving the house looking crazy, if I want my hair cornrowed, I'm just gonna go to someone that has talent in that area. And I have a knack, as you can see with the testimonials that I showcased before, with helping people get careers that lead to them living their fullest lives. So just get the help. It's right here for you. So it is time to make giving up your high earning career optional. Make optional your life, like draining your life savings, that's now optional. And putting off your travel dreams, that's now optional. The time is now to make a move to better your life and live a life that you've been praying and hoping and manifesting for years at this point. And so with that, enroll now. Click the link at the bottom of this video to enroll in the Wonderful Working online course. That's step one. While I recommend the guided growth tier, if you want to start self-paced, which is the self-study, or upgrade to fast track, that's perfectly okay. Don't worry. The link will take you to see all the support tier options on the checkout page. So it will take you to guided growth, but within that, if you want to make a different selection, there you'll be directly linked to that as well. So step two, click the link, choose guided growth. If you want to do something else, you can do that. Step three is once you check out, then you'll be instantly enrolled. You'll get emails from the course platform. And then congratulations, here's a literal round of applause. You get to enjoy instant access to the online course platform and the Wonderful Working Group community if applicable. So if you choose guided growth or fast track, you'll get the group community aspect as well. So that is that. You are invited. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope I answered all your questions, but this is kind of a no-brainer. Go ahead and enroll now. Click the link and let's get started. Bye. See you inside the course.